Okay, so just a quick update. Just hammered that piece of lead flat and got it fitting in that little section right there. I could have left it more of a cube and cut out the seats, but I think I'm just probably going to eliminate the seats in the interior and just run the lead. It's kind of like that. Just keep it centered in the car. I could, if I wanted to, shift this piece back to get it, to get a little bit more bias to the rear. But we'll see. We'll see how creative I'm feeling when I glue it in. Yeah, and that's it for the car for tonight. I'm going to let the car set up good overnight, and then I'll be sanding the wheels and fitting the body, and this one will be wrapped up in the next video. Now I'm going to do a little bonus section here next, and based on some questions, and yeah, that's it for tonight for the 68 Camaro anyway. So yeah, I'll be back with some answers to some questions. Okay, to answer some questions, the first question I'm going to address is I was asked if I had ever considered using pins for axles. Yes, I have. These are size 17 dressmaker pins. Couldn't be more basic. You can buy them in Walmart, and it's funny, amazing the amount of things you can get at Walmart. Now these I have used. I've used them before. They work very well, and I have no real complaints about them. The only complaint I have about them is they're a little loose. You can see you have a good amount of play on the axle. But as far as how they spin, yeah, I just grabbed a wheel out of my desk drawer just to show you, and yeah, I mean they work just fine. The only thing is, I think the head is just a tiny bit bigger. Come on, focus. Is just a little bit bigger, and I don't think they're quite as strong as the stock FTE axles. These are, I believe I checked the size on them at one time, and they were 0.72 millimeters. The FTE axles are 0.8 millimeters. So they're very close, and they will work, but I have noticed that they will bend a little easy. So I mean, if it's like a one race deal, I wouldn't hesitate to use them. Like I said, I think I don't know however many this is, however many hundred of them there are, is like $5 or $7, something like that. They're really cheap, and they are nickel plated, and they do work. So don't be afraid to experiment with dressmaker pins. And the other question is, I'm probably going to get a little long-winded on, but I was asked about the size of the wheels that you use. Now, these wheels come in various sizes. These are very common sizes. Let's see, yeah, I do have a wide one here too. Yeah, I mean, the question is, does it matter what size wheels you use? Now, the thing that is in question here is the wheel on the axle will only spin at a set RPM. They will max out, and I believe they max out in the 11 to 12,000 RPM range. I know if you spin them on a Dremel up much faster than that, up there 15 to 20,000 RPM, you will melt that center hub. You will melt the wheel to the axle. So it's so we're kind of pushing the limits of what these wheels can do. Why would you want to run a smaller wheel? Well, a smaller wheel will come up to speed faster. Basically it's like having faster gearing in, a higher gear ratio in the rear of your car. These will come up to speed. They will accelerate very fast, but they will top out quicker. So if you're running on a very short track, if you're running on a track that's like 10 or 12 feet long, yep, use these little guys. The medium-sized wheels I like. I just kind of like that size wheel. I use it very often. It's a good compromise, especially if you're going to be running on multiple tracks. Think about it like these wheels will come up to speed very fast. These wheels will take a little bit longer to come up to that to reach that maximum RPM. But when they do reach that maximum RPM, the car will actually be traveling faster than it will be with the smaller wheels. So that's when you end up with the epic rundown at the finish, pass at the finish. So it all depends on the track you're running on. I like the medium-sized wheels just as a compromise. But hey, if you're running on a 50-foot long track, don't be afraid to run as big a tire as you can put on there, because it will be to your benefit, because your car will be going faster down track. I hope that answers those questions, and I think that's all I want to talk about tonight. So keep the questions coming, keep the comments coming. I will be finishing up the 68 Camaro in tomorrow night's video. And then we will be discussing what's coming up next. And there's some little hints about that in the background. Yeah. So again, thank you. Thank you very much for all the positive comments and the questions. So I will keep putting out these videos, trying to help you guys. And yeah, I hope they inspire you to build. So this is Chris, and I will see you in Lane 2.